Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Movie Bin podcast, or this week, the Music Bin podcast, because we are discussing the new Kendrick Lamar album, Damn. I sounded like Melonhead there for a second.
Yeah, your cadence really flowed one with the melon, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is the Music Bin podcast where I guess you can find I don't know, Alien Ant Farm CDs for like $1.
See now,
See,
we mentioned this earlier. Now all I can think of is "It's just like the movies."
I should make
Kinda
that the
like-
intro.
It's got that prepubescent, kind of high pitch, but still like you can tell that he's an old man.
Have you seen the music video for
No.
that song?
No, God, no, I never want to.
Boy, it is okay. It is stellar.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but
It's quite alien to me.
ooh. So,
Yeah.
so today I got two lovely guests. We got Magnus Prophecy.
Hi, howdy, y'all. I'm gonna hope to dear God that's clapping.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And I also
Clean your mind up.
I also have Peyton Brock. This is the
Hi.
Hooray.
Yay. This is the first podcast where we have returning guests, so I don't know.
Oh, wow.
Hooray.
You guys want an award or something? I don't.
Yeah, I want.
I just like to state out right out of the gate here that much like Donnie and Big Lebowski, I'm far out of my element on this topic. Anyone listening to this who gets very upset or mad at my dumb rap knowledge or street cred and whatnot that goes along with rap, please don't get mad at me. I appreciate rap and I like rap. I'm just not very. It's not what I normally listen to.
Well, like maybe that's a good jumping off point. Like, what was like your introduction overall? I know that's extremely vague. Just like to rap in general, or like even developing a nascent taste for it.
Yeah.
That's a good point because for a while, I'm a middle class white boy, so rap wasn't something I really ever listened to. I was saying this before the podcast started, but I used to ride to school every morning with a friend, and he liked rap more than I did, and he likes rap in a point where I think part of the reason he likes it, he likes especially dumb rap songs, kind of almost ironically, like just listening to it for pure kind of fun because it's dumb. So in the mornings we'd listen to stuff like Don't Drop That Dun Dun Dun.
Yeah.
And
oh God.
Of course the rap classic that we'd love to make fun of because of how PG and just like dumb the lyrics are, the Space Jam theme, which if you haven't actually listened to the lyrics of the rap part, they are so just like,
it's intense.
It's very family friendly, so they say a lot of stuff that just rhymes to make sense, but it doesn't work. It just rhymes, so they say it.
It's an emotional roller coaster, that one.
Yeah, that those type of songs that's how I was really introduced to rap. I mean, since then I still really don't listen to much rap at all. I mean, I'll occasionally listen to some stuff, especially if it's more like electronic geared because I like electronic music to some degree, certain artists. But yeah, I mean, right now, if I listen to rap, it's mainly because I'm listening to like Gorillaz and there's rap in that oftentimes. Or, it's the most cliche thing for like a nerdy white guy to say he listens to, and occasionally I'll also listen to Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
That's essentially a meme in its own at this point. But it's like, oh, I don't listen to rap much, but I like that Childish Gambino.
That one fellow.
Tracks. But that I love I absolutely love and I have it on my phone, and I've listened to it thousands of times. Kanye West and Jay-Z, the song about their black friends in Paris.
Yes.
That song is great, especially the version on YouTube, because the music video version has an extra like synth arpeggio riff in certain parts of the song that is just so good. It is beautiful, and the song knows it's dumb, and it's a fun song for the sake of being fun, and it knows it, and I like it, and it's good.
That entire album is dumb, but that's kind of like the appeal of it, I guess. And you are absolutely right with the production is like freaky good for that one specifically.
Also, I sometimes when I'm bored, I'll listen to like really like old school like original rap, like what's some like Rapper's Delight.
Sugar Hill Gang, yeah.
Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, The Message.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Curtis Blow, The Breaks.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Which Kendrick, there's a reference to that in one of the songs.
There is.
Wrote that down. I took notes.
Yeah. I can hear him.
So, yeah, wrestling.
Did you hear about the new rap meme? What's the new rap? So it's a kid. He's like 19. His name is XXX Tentacion.
Tentacion.
Tinnitus.
Tonight, well, it's gonna give you tinnitus if you listen to it. Have you actually heard it's a somewhat popular song now? X. He is commonly known as X. Is like a underground metal rapper, and he has a song called "Look at Me," which is just. It'd be fine, except it's purposely blown out of like. It's hard to describe.
It's like
it hurts to listen to.
Like, do you know that person who had like the subwoofer and had the extreme bass where it was just overblown to the point where it was just out? It hurt to listen to.
Like it's near broken.
What you're describing, isn't that just what? Wait, no, maybe I actually shouldn't say that. I don't want to open that can of worms. It make me sound dumb. There's a certain artist that I was going to say, isn't that like, but I feel like I'm going to get internet attacked if I say I don't understand it.
No, you're good. I think there's a lot of direct comparisons, but this particular meme has just been blown out of proportion because he looks like a character from Naruto.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me what was the song called again? Look at Me?
Look at Me.
Yeah, let me pull up like the first two lines of the song. All right.
It's like not even. It's like it doesn't even make sense. Keep going. Sorry.
I'm like, bitch. Who's your man's? I can't keep my dick in my pants. My bitch don't love me no more. She kicked me out like bro.
Wow. Well, that's the dumb part of that song too, because like that's the first part of the first verse, but then it stops for like a solid minute for him to just go, hey, ha, hey, like over and over again. So funny.
Oh, I just thought of something more. Last thing to say about any sort of rap I listen to. There's a guy. He's like a piano player, and his name is Chili Gonzalez. He's done some stuff with like Daft Punk in the past, and some of his older stuff he did some like rap with it. And I'm sure it's beyond white that I'm saying that I like him for the rap that he's done. But he has a lot of like really good musical. He's very like musical theory minded in the way he composes stuff, and he's obviously really like. You can look up. He has interviews and stuff, and he actually has like some video series online where he like deconstructs pop songs and like why they work and why they're catchy. I don't know. Overall, he's an entertaining guy. Interesting.
I like that. So that sort of like technical edge to it. So I'll probably have to check that out.
That's it for me on my rap history. So, oh, should I touch on like what about Kendrick? Like my past with Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, sure.
What I know of him and. I mean,
this is really quick. This is just really cool to hear from someone that like isn't super embroiled into, I guess, this world, because this is your first Kendrick album, is it not?
first one that I've listened to all the way through multiple times now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Basically, in the past, I know, like, I think it was like a year or two ago, and everyone was all like really getting into the whole Kendrick Lamar thing, I guess, around when To Pimp a Butterfly came out.
Right.
You know, I was like, all right, well, everyone's saying that this guy's like, you know, some new like crazy artist that's like really, you know, intelligent, really, you know, everything he makes is so good, and there's so many, you know, layers and things in it, and it's just overall really good. So I was like, all right, so I'll listen to some of his stuff. And I think I had like heard it just like on the internet before, like, but never like actually sat down and listened to a whole song or whatnot from him. So I mean, I remember sitting down and listening, or starting to listen to Pimp a Butterfly, and I don't know if it was just because it caught me off guard and I wasn't expecting it, but it was way more like avant-garde, almost like a jazz album, more than I expected. And that's coming from someone who I actually really enjoyed jazz. I played in a jazz band for a year or two with band and different stuff, so I like jazz, but I think it's just purely I was caught off guard. It wasn't something you could so much just like listen to. It was something you had to be like in the right mindset and be like prepared to listen to it and explore it.
For certain.
And to me, it was almost as if I like a lot of, like I said, electronic stuff like Daft Punk and Justice, where it's solely like music driven. You're enjoying the beats and the composition of it and everything. But with To Pimp a Butterfly, that's more like you're listening for the meaning and the message behind the words and the intricacies of what he's saying and the little tiny details, which, you know, that's kind of opposite the style of music that I'm used to listening to, where it's very just going with the feel of the music and the musicality of the composition and the instruments. When like To Pimp a Butterfly is much more technically. So I just personally, for me, it was too, like, I want rap that's not just like completely mumble rap, you know, the only thing that matters is the beat and the words are just there to fill the space. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person who also, To Pimp a Butterfly really isn't my thing. I respect it as an album. It's fantastic, and it's well thought out, and it's obvious his lyrical ability is insane and ridiculous. But personally, for me, it's too like dense of an album where it's just too complex that I want something more middle of the road, more, you know, something more easy to listen to, which actually that's why I kind of enjoyed Damn a lot, because that's what it more, that's in the case of it, that's what it was like more.
I think I largely agree with that. And to sort of go off on an aside, Jareev, he had never listened to Kendrick Lamar before, but he was excited about like all the buzz behind Damn, so he wanted to try out To Pimp a Butterfly, and he had a near identical experience to you. Where he got in a couple tracks and he was like, this is obviously like brilliant for its genre, but it's like not me. And I think
I think with me listening to Pimp a Butterfly, it's like taking someone who only watches like summer blockbusters and the occasional like Edgar Wright movie or Tarantino movie and trying to sit them down and watch like 2001 with no
that is a
with
great comparison.
With no sort of buffer or explanation.
Exactly.
You know, to equate it to something I'm more adept in talking about.
Because his albums tend to be extremely cinematic. Like Good Kid, Mad City is essentially just a film.
Yeah. It's a very heavy story-driven album where there's like skits at the end of each song.
But then, like, To Pimp a Butterfly is structured in such a way that it's different aspects of Kendrick, which are their own individual characters on each song, which aren't exactly all him, but they're parts of him. And it wraps up so amazingly in the end that it's like it truly does change the form. And that's why people generally look to that as one of the greatest rap albums ever recorded.
Right. Because,
I will say...
because when you listen to tracks like You and then How Much a Dollar Really Costs, it's like those are two completely different people right there. So, sorry.
I will say, I will say, I do. Out of that album, sorry. Can I go?
Yes,
yeah, go.
All right, sorry, I never know when to talk in this thing.
This is such a recurring theme on this podcast.
Yeah. But no, I will say in that album, I do really like the one that everyone does like, the single, the King Kunta. That one is really entertaining.
Oh yeah,
that song. Sure. I especially like the version where they take where someone has taken the Seinfeld bass riff and put that underneath. Have you heard that?
Surprisingly well.
It works really well because it matches. It's very similar to the actual bass in the song, so it works really well.
That's yeah. I forgot that one existed actually.
That's crazy.
Because it was kind of just a meme thing, and then I listened to it all the way through, and you're right. It works so well.
Have you listened to All Right from To Pimp a Butterfly?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Is it towards the beginning of the album?
Yeah, it's
probably yes. But again, I listened to that album probably year and a half ago by now, so I don't remember it.
Right.
Yeah, because it's like that and King Kunta are considered like the only two pop appeal songs on that.
Which one of his is the one? I don't know what the name is, but it's the one where he's like making fun of, like, I've heard from a friend who listened, like he described it as, I can't remember the name of the track, but it's like the one where he's like making fun of like dumb rap, and what's the one? It has the line about the Eiffel Tower in it,
that's Backseat Freestyles. That's on on Good Kid, Mad City.
Okay, that one's pretty like. Isn't that one more easy to get into as well?
That one's really easy to get into.
Right, but that's the point, right?
Yeah, and that's the genius thing about that album as well, is that it's like dumb rap, but it has such a heavy significance to that album. But out of context, you can still listen to it like it's a banger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. I think also what I find interesting, like, just kind of building up to Damn, a lot of Kendrick fans who were big fans of like Section 80, there were like less of them when it came to Good Kid, Mad City, and then even less when it came to Pimp a Butterfly. And then the first time that I listened to Damn, I thought, oh, this is going to turn off even more Kendrick fans. But yet, surprisingly enough, the complete opposite. Real
quick, for me and anyone else who listens to this who doesn't really understand what you just meant by that, because they don't understand what is Section 80 or whatever you said.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Is that his first album or something?
That is his first studio album, yes.
And so has he like progressed in his sound like a lot? Has it changed more?
I'd say it's changed pretty significantly.
Yes.
Because his first releases were like all the way back in like 2004, and they're pretty rudimentary.
Okay.
And I don't even know the names of them, but they're just a bunch of miscellaneous mixtapes. Then he did Kendrick Lamar, the EP in 2009, which is a really decent listen.
Okay.
He did a mixtape after that called Overly Dedicated, which is where you really start to see like his attention to detail and sort of like conscious hip hop style start to emerge. Section 80 is an even further growth of that. Good Kid, Mad City threw a lot of people because it is like so cinematic and doesn't necessarily make sense if you haven't listened to every single track.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I think Good Kid, Mad City in some regards is just as good as To Pimp a Butterfly, but To Pimp a Butterfly is not only more important, like message wise, it is incredible. And that one in specific changes the sound altogether. His sound started more like what you'd think is stereotypical hip hop. Then it sort of moves into this weird synthy, I guess you could call it almost synth rap. Then it got even more modern and very popular, almost trappy kind of beats. Then To Pimp a Butterfly is the jazz rap, like avant-garde sort of stuff that you were describing. And I think that's leading into Damn. we've said that like 4 times now. Leading into Damn, that was the weirdest thing to me because it's a blend of really contemporary sounds and also just a bunch of really weird influences where I don't necessarily know where he's pulling from.
Yeah.
You know, so like going back to this interview that just came out today,
right?
He was talking about like his biggest influences are like the 3 people that he finds that are like the king of hip hop, which are Tupac, Eminem, and Jay-Z. So you definitely see a lot of influences there. But yet I think just but yet just the overall sound on Damn is so, it was very unexpected for me.
Yeah.
Like tracks like God or Love kind of feel like Drake's songs in a way.
I wrote that down on my notes before this started.
Yeah.
I noted in my I took notes on every song, and then at the end I wrote down a list of overall themes and then my opinion. And the last thing I wrote in my opinion is really enjoyed some songs, and then referring to like I know especially Love, I put kind of bored by others.
Yeah.
I didn't really. There were some that I got really into, and others that were just, I don't know. They were they're a lot like Drake songs, where they were like slow and ballad like almost, where it was less rap and more almost R&B ish.
Yeah,
which that's God Drake saying is Drake's the sad rapper man.
Right, because he's all pathos, and that's pretty much his biggest appeal.
Yeah.
And God is, you're totally right, is an exact, forgetting my word. It's a great example of that, and that's the only track, surprisingly, in the album that I don't care for, kind of like at all.
Right. Yeah, I was taken off guard, just like all the sounds that you hear, because Blood is a skit, essentially, and then DNA is like this massive banger, and then Ya is just this really weird slow down beat.
Yeah, I noted with Ya, the first note I put immediately softer, which I mean I'm assuming that's an aesthetic choice to go from. He does that a lot. He'll have a really high velocity type of a song like DNA, and then move into Ya, or like Humble and then move into Lust, where he like immediately slows it down to create a contrast almost, it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, Ya, but going back to this Kendrick interview, he was kind of talking about that this album is very introspective. Like To Pimp a Butterfly.
I could tell that.
Yeah, To Pimp a Butterfly was kind of like changing the world and everything around you. It
was still introspective in the regard that he's talking about him and his community as like a whole. But
yeah,
right.
I think I see where you're coming from, is that this is introspective.
There's a lot of there's a lot of personal, like obvious personal like struggle and like trying self-discovery and type of stuff in it. Definitely.
And I really wish I took more notes on this, but yet
I got 5 pages.
I can hear them. But,
I'm sorry. I probably should have separated them. They're in a notebook, and it's gonna be terrible for the audio.
No, it sounds like you're a crazy man.
Yeah, I was wondering who it was.
Decipher the rap music.
I think
meaning.
Everyone is, trust me. But just to kinda...
the beat switch on DNA sped up to 88 miles per hour.
If you take the number of albums he's released, divide them by his age, that gives you the number of 5. Now you take the 5, you flip it backwards, turn it upside down. What does that make? That's not a number. So you get rid of that, all right? How many hands does Kendrick have? 2. He's releasing 2 albums.
Oh, man. I need to pull up some of the crazy-ass theories that some people thought.
I was just about to say, Peyton, have you seen any of r/Kendrick Lamar? Because it's like nuts over there right now.
I went on there for the first time just before we started this, just to look around. never been on there before. I enjoyed the ones after seeing that tweet that, well, I'm assuming we'll get to, the people talking about the bamboozled thing. That seems obviously I'm not up to date with all those memes, but I understand how everyone is like conspiracy theory central there for the last few days until recently.
For sure.
But, so yeah, he's going to release 2 albums. What are also something that come into a planet, the Earth, and the Moon. Kubrick's on the Moon.
Kubrick's on the Moon.
It's connected.
Right.
It's always connected. Oh, I'm sorry if you can hear that train in the background.
Oh, trust me, there's been like 2 already in mine, so.
Oh, good.
You're not alone. It's just atmosphere. But yeah, going back to that interview, Kendrick kind of said that, like, you know, To Pimp a Butterfly is like trying to change the world, but yet Damn is like trying to change yourself.
Yeah.
Like changing yourself first.
I can see that 100%. Yep.
Yeah, so a lot of the tracks on here you're going to find, like, I would say that there are just some really almost depressing tracks. Like, even like some that contradict himself, like like a confused person trying to find themselves, because Damn is like this really aggressive and angry rap song.
Wait, which one? Sorry.
Sorry. DNA.
No, it's good. DNA. I got you. I figured that's what you meant. I just wanted to clarify.
But yeah, which I think that's almost kind of like a fuck you to Fox News.
Yeah,
I love that aspect of the news. But using the news clips, that stuff was great.
Yeah, because at the end of Blood,
that's when he uses the one about him stating his views on police brutality, and the lady goes, "Oh no,
not for me."
I
don't like those rap man.
Yeah, and she was they were specifically talking about the song All Right, and Kendrick's performance with that song. And the way I kind of took it was, To Pimp a Butterfly, and specifically that song, Kendrick is pulling stuff from his life. Like, his stuff is extremely personal, and these people are saying, like, I don't like that. And so I can understand why Kendrick would be so aggressive and angry, because they're just I don't like this, because
well, like, beyond that, the song is ultimately positive. It's using a lot of gangster imagery to like get across like what kind of community he's coming from. But it's ultimately we are gonna be fine as long as we stick together, as long as we keep learning, as long as we keep loving. Exactly. It's
an empowerment type thing.
And the whole irony of that was that they well, I guess irony, it still works in that scenario. The whole irony of that was that they took what is in essence an extremely positive song about a community that has historically seen a lot of shit hitting the fan, Kendrick reference, and twisting it into being like some dirty message, and such a minute part of the hook.
Right.
So,
So do you guys? Oh, go ahead.
And you even see like more news references in the song "Yeah," where I can't remember that guy's name, but basically
Geraldo Rivera, or Geraldo, however you say his name.
Yes, and he was talking about this story about how his little cousin was seeing him on the news, and Fox News trying to use my name for percentage.
Yeah.
Tracks like that, and I just found it really interesting that like this one is just a very chill, almost depressing song in a way, talking about similar subjects than from DNA.
Yeah, that was my one label from the song, is sloppy, but not in the composition way, in just the way that it feels.
Right.
But I feel like that's very purposefully so.
Right. I think he's literally trying to make you feel like Kendrick in the album cover, where he's just kind of like a slog.
Right. Peyton, what were you going to say a second ago?
I was just gonna say, like, from here, like, we've already talked about DNA right now, and yeah, are we just gonna keep going down the?
Yeah, we'll just go down the track.
Before we do that, can I say, can I talk? We didn't really talk about Blood a lot. Can I just mention?
Yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed like how that was the opening track. I thought it set the tone pretty good, or pretty well. I want to pose a question because maybe I don't understand. Maybe there's something that you guys understand. Do you know what the symbolism of the blind lady is?
I took it to be Lady Liberty, or not Lady Liberty, not Lady Liberty, but Lady Justice. Excuse me.
Okay, the justice.
Like the woman holding the scales, and she's as in.
I wrote beside blind woman symbolism ? I put Kay helps. Like Kendrick helps her, and is that indicative of like his true nature? And then he's shot, so it's like him being like trying to be helpful but getting punished instead. Or you guys are saying it's more of like is it like a justice system metaphor type thing of like mistreatment of black people and stuff like that, race relation type thing?
I have a theory that I found on r/Kendrick Lamar that actually sounds that actually sounds sound, not crazy.
She's blind. How many hands does she have? Two. Two albums. How many eyes do you have? Two.
But yeah, it may change the way that you might see blood, but do you want me to talk about that theory right now, or do you just want to keep going down the track list?
You can talk about the theory, and then we can keep moving, from that on to the
doesn't matter
part next songs.
Okay, so I actually have the Reddit thread pulled up right here, but essentially it's the idea that this album is the double album. So this theory is called the Damned Man and the Saved Man, where it's 2 playlists, 7 tracks on each, where the Saved Man is DNA, Element, Loyalty, Humble, Love, Fear, and Duckworth. And obviously Duckworth ends with Kendrick being
the rewind.
Yeah, Kendrick lives in the end and whatnot. And then Damn is God, XXX, Lust, Pride, Feel, and Blood. So it's essentially the other tracks, but in reverse. So it starts off with God, which is kind of like this happy track and whatnot, and then it progressively gets more depressing until we reach Blood, where Kendrick dies.
Okay, that's interesting for sure.
Yeah, and especially things really make some sense where you have Loyalty and then straight to Humble, where Rihanna is like, it's so hard to be humble. So essentially the idea is that, like, hold on, I got the thread pulled up. Like, the Damn Man story is supposed to be about someone who succumbs to temptation, choosing evil over good, embracing wickedness, and rejecting God. Whereas the Saved Man is pretty much the opposite of that. And there are definitely some heavy religious themes in this. And so I feel like...
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of the idea of the series is that the Damn Man, someone has God, and then he starts to reject him. And then when justice comes, he dies. Which obviously very religious things going on here, saying if you reject God, then you'll die, or something like that. I don't know. And then, yeah, exactly. It's definitely an interesting way to think about it, as like, back and it plays reverse with different themes depending on, the song order.
Yeah. I'm trying to think about, I'm going to keep it in mind too, because I'm trying to think about just how that fits into my overall interpretation of it if you just listen to it forwards, because I feel like there's some validity in listening to the tracks out of order like that, but at the same time I'm just not certain, you know.
Right. It's like, why didn't he release it either A as a double EP, or B, which is what it would be, or B in that order with like maybe an interlude. I don't know. Like, Kendrick is a really cryptic person in that way, and even at like the signing that he did on 420, like, someone asked him like, "What does TOC mean?" Which is I believe that comes from the Heart Part 4, and he just like, "You'll figure it out," and the guy replies, "Can I have any clues?" And he's just like, "You gotta find it, man." And
what a clue!
It's funny too, because there's a whole deal with the colors of the cover and the track.
Oh yeah,
listing.
the blue and red thing.
Yeah,
and I heard about that.
And in the DNA music video, I don't know if
he's got the 2 rings.
Yeah,
it's the whole Matrix thing that everyone's talking about. Heard about. I know that.
So duality, I think if anything about the track list or the 2 playlist thing, I think you're absolutely right in that duality plays a huge role in Damn.
Oh yeah, almost every song has some sort of duality aspect to it,
right?
Where he said, lines that just contradict each other or are in direct opposition of what he says, or the themes from one song to another.
Right.
Yeah, specifically something like Humble, where
Pride
the whole thing is like, sit down, be humble, but yet himself is like
not
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because along. Oh, go ahead.
Keep going. No, talk about that. I had another duality thing.
Sure. Along with what you were saying about the lyrics being very contradictory, like even the structure of the songs and how they're listed feels like one after the other. They're kind of contradicting each other, or they are the opposite or the other end of it. Mm-hmm. Like pride before humble, lust before love. But then it goes in weird order. Like XXX is wedged in there, but then it's God before Duckworth, which I absolutely see. So I don't know. I'm still working on that one.
A duality thing that goes along with what you're talking about, sort of the titles and the track list. I found out. I felt like I thought of this last night and I wrote it down because I thought it was a pretty strong idea. There's like a duality in how all the titles, for the most part, on the album are these really like grandiose,
all caps,
big theme ideas about pride and love and whatnot. But at the same time, they're all these really short, small, concise, simple words. Yet they all are like really impactful ideas and thematic motifs. Yet at the same time, they're all just short. The whole album, it's just a 4-letter title.
For
all
sure,
the songs
yeah.
are a little short. None of the longest title of any of the songs might be like Element or something that's like 6 or 7 letters.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting spiritual lyrical on us, Kenny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, just weird stuff thrown in. Like, can any of you explain what the hell is Kung Fu Kenny?
I took that to be like, because usually he'll rap from like different characters' perspectives or whatever, or like different versions of himself. I took this to be like the vessel, I guess, if you will, that he's kind of testing himself through. It's still that one's still kind of
coming
up in the air.
Coming from someone who once again knows very little about rap. Isn't Wu-Tang Clan's whole thing? Aren't they all about
they're
martial
all about
arts
wushu
and whatnot?
Martial arts, yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's tied to that at all? I have no clue.
It could be.
I just know that's a thing.
I also have something of a theory that kind of relates to Blood in the old woman aspect, in that there's a lot of surface stuff that has, and again, duality, a lot of like double meaning stuff, because I think you could take that his death being like any number of things, like the hand of just pure racism or senseless violence, what have you, or it could just be like him failing his test with God. Oh shoot, I forgot. I had such a good point to wrap that up with, and now I went off on a different thing. Never mind. Sorry. I hate it when I do that.
I'm not gonna lie. The part where he gets shot in blood, when I first listened to it, that gave me a bit of a fright. That gave me a bit of a spook.
Yeah, for sure.
The gunshot, it spooked me and made me jump. It was
Right.
a good.
Oh, I think I kind of remember. Is that yeah, and that's where I was going with the blood thing, and you're absolutely right. It's using like really surfacey level things like that, or illusions, or any number of references to like outside arts to kind of make sense for everyone to like it. And I think the general consensus is that like it's a banger album. This is like one of his best, and it's like got such a wide appeal to it. And no one is seeing the deeper meaning except for us people that clearly see that he has 2 hands, 2 eyes. There's got to be 2 albums.
So
See?
should we move on to like the next
Sure.
songs?
Yeah.
Talking about.
Yeah.
No, sorry, I don't mean to like.
No, it's good. I'm laughing at the fact that we've been stuck at like Ya and DNA and Blood for like 20 minutes.
I mean, we don't have to like touch on every song. I
know. I just thought it was funny.
If we do, I have like a few things I'd like to say about specific things. Like with Element, I just want to. That's like the first time in the album the whole like hype man guy is used. Is there like is that like a thing? What is that like? Is there a purpose of him?
See, that's why I asked you, because I don't think he's really ever done like this kind of hype man thing where he just like new Kung Fu Kenny. That's still
another world premiere.
Yeah, that's still very weird. And he played this character at Coachella, and where he had kind of like
Didn't he have like a short film?
Right.
Yeah.
It premiered at Coachella.
It was like the damn legacy of Kung Fu Kenny or something like that.
Very strange, and like
Yeah.
he's like training with some monk, and there's like some woman who like gives birth to like a glowing thing. I honestly thought that like the glowing thing, she like Kendrick was gonna pull out the second album from her vagina, and then just be like, here it is, folks. Yeah, very strange.
Is it wickedness?
Yeah, very strange. And even in the new Damn music video, he's playing Kung Fu Kenny. He has the outfit there. So that's just, I don't know. It's very weird. And Kendrick is the kind of man who has like a purpose for all of his stuff. So I don't know. I don't think he's just like doing this for fun, but if he is, then I'm not too sure. But
I think I get what you're saying.
Moving down a few of the songs a little bit, I'd like in Loyalty, I want to just say that the first time I listened to the song, I was almost sure in my head, I was like, that's got to be from 24 Karat Magic, because
it is.
It is. I know. I found that out, but I was so happy when I did, because I called it, because I liked that song, and I was like that like vocoder stuff, and that I was like, that's got to be that. That sounds way too much like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that he used such like that song only came out last fall or last
that was about winter. September.
So it's interesting that he was able to. I mean, obviously he made some of these songs pretty, closer recently to the release. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I don't really like that song. I like that sample, but I don't like Rihanna.
Oh,
really in that song.
I think
it's just not my thing.
I think I've warmed up to it a lot more, but yet at first I was kind of indifferent towards it.
I think I'm in the minority in that I just kind of liked it from the get-go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a Rihanna fan in the slightest, but I thought she did a pretty excellent job.
Right.
I mean, I don't think the song was bad. I just personal taste. It's not
right. Just sonically, it wasn't.
I just don't really like. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we is there anything else you want to talk about on that song before we move to Pride?
I skipped Feel, by the way. I didn't. I no. Did anyone have anything they wanted to say about Feel? I really did.
Yeah, I don't really think anything beyond.
Yeah.
I'm good with moving on to Pride if you guys.
Yeah. I guess to comment on Field real quick. I'm sorry, but
sure. Go ahead.
Yeah.
That's the one where he's just like, God, if it's correct, he's the one. That's the one where he's like, nobody praying for me.
That starts that concept.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we should talk about that.
Which was also like a big thing at his Coachella show because like a couple times when he took breaks in between songs, he would play that like sample of just like nobody praying for me.
Right.
And I read another interesting theory that like the 14 tracks are supposed to be related to the 14 stations of the cross. And that one is supposed to is supposed to be the one where like it's like Jesus's second failure, and supposedly the line that's like nobody praying for me is like Kendrick kind of losing hope. And also I think what's his name, Sean C, the reaction YouTuber. I think he kind of made like a good point towards Feel of like fans expect so much out of Kendrick, but yet the Kendrick fans don't really respect him as like a person.
Yeah,
like they see him as like they see him as an artist. So
that's just double. That's double interesting with all of like the people saying, "Oh, more Kendrick, more Kendrick, more Kendrick." As soon
like
as he
the guy just released a 14-track album.
Yeah,
like, can you get a break?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been releasing like something for the one thing for. Hasn't he released something pretty much the last 3 or 4 years in a row? At least one album every year.
Yeah. He's been like one every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty good turnout. I mean, maybe not for rap. Rap does.
No, he's been like one every like 1 year since like 2015.
Yeah,
now that
because last year he had like that unreleased one.
Yeah, Untitled Master
side.
Yeah,
which is also really good.
Well, I mean, when it's him, I mean, even the B-sides are like way above just normal quality.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing as someone who hasn't listened to it.
No, they are quality.
There are some really great stuff from there, like Untitled 7. Levitate, 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 levitate. Shut your fucking. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, you're good. I feel you.
So, Pride is the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That one, Pride it had a lot of kind of like singing and like slow aspect to it.
It trips me up because it's so like pitch shifty.
Yeah.
Like, but very seamlessly so, and then it just goes from high to low to high, like within a verse.
Honestly, for me, like basically Feel, those 3 songs in a row, like Feel, Loyalty, and Pride, none of them really do it for me. Like Pride, I said, and this is still, please no one get mad at me, I have the utmost respect, I could never make this caliber of music, but for me Pride was just too slow. It was kind of like blah.
Yeah, I think that's
no, I'm just kidding.
Cute. Everyone attack him. Get him.
I'm really afraid I'm going to get a bunch of angry people.
No, I think if anything,
listens to this
if
podcast,
anything, you're gonna get you get
a solid 100 people listen to this.
No one, trust me, no one watched the last one.
I watched the last one.
I haven't seen the movie, but I haven't seen any of those movies. My friend has, and he loves all of them.
Get your friend,
because he's a car guy.
Yeah,
I've only seen the 2 that everyone hates,
Tokyo,
which is Yup and Too Fast, Too Furious.
Yeah,
I haven't seen any others.
That's a different topic.
I know. I was just saying. I think it's funny because I always listen to while I'm running.
Go on, Peyton.
I was just saying. So yeah, that was. I don't really like Pride either, very much.
Yeah, it's all right to not like it. So
That's what I have to say about that one. I mean, I wrote down other stuff about, like, even though I didn't like the songs, I wrote down for all of them, like, different little bits of meaning I picked up on, and Pride was basically just, like, seems like he's disgruntled with people, he's maybe rejecting the material, and that's why it comes into, like, the theme of pride and, you know, respect and whatnot. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know why. I really like Pride.
I think the reason that I like it is that it sets up Humble really well.
Mm-hmm.
I like the juxtaposition of those, even though I don't particularly like the track.
Yeah.
So, I guess moving on to probably the biggest song to come out of this, just because it came out earlier. Humble.
I like this one.
A lot of people do.
It's the most funnest one.
This one had to grow on me.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really care for it out of the gate. Because I thought it was like too close to like kind of what he was parodying, and he's not really parodying anything. He's just at first I just had such a problem with it because it sounded so poppy, but after a while I realized how much I really kind of
that's why I like this one.
Yeah, because I was just jamming out to it in my car.
I like the beat.
Yeah.
And I think that this one for sure, like, in my mind, this one's going to be the most, like, long-lasting one, and people are going to be, anytime anyone says the word humble and they know about, you know, their rap, they listen to rap, the sit down, be humble, that's going to be, like, a thing for like, ever. That's going to, you know, like, other rap lines that have, like, Mom's Spaghetti and whatnot, that have went on, even though, you know, people don't, you know, really, I mean, there are certain lines in certain songs that just, you know, they
make it
around. Yeah. And I really think because this is the big single and it's like a clever little catchy, you know, and in its simplicity, little chorus hook type thing.
I also really like the Rick James sample from DNA. I don't know if people will say that.
Oh yeah.
Give me some
ganja.
Oh yeah,
that's great. And then the section where it's literally just over and over. Gimme.
Or I doubt people will be saying this too much, but yet maybe an element. I'm gonna make it look sexy.
Yeah,
just like kind of applying that to anything.
I heard a censored version of that last night when I was out to dinner. Yeah. Although they played really quick, they played Wesley's Theory right after it, and it was not censored.
What's Wesley? Is that another song?
That's from To Pimp a Butterfly.
That's from To Pimp a Butterfly. It's the first song that very prominently uses. Ben, am I allowed to use the slur because it is the song?
I'll censor
it. I mean, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, then we're good. You don't need to know.
I mean,
you already know.
Assume what slur, yeah.
Yeah, because literally the beginning of that song uses a sample from Every is a Star.
Yeah. For anyone that has seen Moonlight is the same song that plays at the very beginning of that.
Hey, a movie.
Hey, what are you talking about?
Hey, I done seen that. I know what we're talking.
Good.
Yay.
Real quick, the music video for Humble that's a dang amazing video.
That's a real good one.
Everything looks so good.
Yeah. I also, I'd like to point out that, like, when he's wearing the Steve Jobs outfit, doing the weird angles.
Oh yeah,
that one shot. That was
fantastic.
Yeah, they didn't do anything in editing. That was all practical.
In camera?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. They were using like a fisheye or lens or something.
No, they had a special machine that did insanely fast movements, and Kendrick had to be extremely precise when doing that.
Was it like some sort of like special dolly or something?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was a really weird crane.
Wow. Well, knowing that's even more impressive. There's just so many good like just cinematic shots that you could just like you could take a screenshot of, and like the one with all the bald-headed guys, or the one where he's in a suit and everyone's in a suit, or him on top of the car hitting the golf ball.
The fire.
Yeah, the guys with the fire on their heads. Him in the drying chairs in the beauty salon place.
Also the
Last Supper.
Yeah, the Photoshop scene as well.
Yeah.
I heard someone point out. I heard someone point out that when the girl passes over, obviously she changes, but yet when Kendrick passes over, he doesn't change, and then it showed Kendrick's face on like both split screens, and I think I heard that like, is that supposed to represent that like Kendrick, no matter what, is real? Like,
I don't.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Because
makes sense.
I think there's a line in the song where he's just like, "I'm the realest after all."
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say that?
I'm gonna bleep it out.
Okay.
No doubt. And also,
why'd you make me not say every is a star then?
Oh wow! Whoa.
Well,
I'm not gonna say either of those things.
5632. Writing that down.
Yeah. Just cut that.
No, I'm just.
Man, I should have been recording this for my own, and then I could just take that out of context.
Oh, whatever. If
I could ruin your career.
Oh yeah, as though it hasn't been said like hundreds of times on like either one of our streams. In reference to hip hop,
there was. Okay, just to be off topic real quick, there was so much stuff cut from our Dank Gameplays video back in like the summer of last year that you just said.
I said a lot of things I should probably regret, but I don't.
That was extremely bad.
This just in on this podcast, hot take, Magnus Prophecy exposed as racist.
Yeah, terribly racist.
Get a Wall Street Journal on that. Anyway,
why? I think I am just.
Why do you hate black? Why do you hate them?
I think I'm just ethnically diverse enough to where I get a pass.
Wait, you're ethnic? How are you ethnically diverse?
Yeah.
Wait, what are you?
Thanks.
Like,
what are you?
What are you, Latino? Are you?
What
like
are
Hispanic?
you? Yeah. What are you? You human? What are you?
I don't know. I'm honestly.
No,
curious.
I'm just joking with you. No.
Okay.
My no. I'm being. I was talking about you being whatever. My mom is like a gray person because she's like so mudded. So we got her a DNA test to figure out what she is, and by proxy what I am.
Like that song.
Yeah. and we figured out that we're part Asian, part Ashkenazi Jew.
Wow.
A lot of German, which is presumably where the racist comes in. I'm going to imagine that the Asian went entirely to my genitals and not to my brain.
I've seen them.
Yeah,
wow.
You've seen.
No, I did not.
Close and personal.
Yeah. So maybe just cut all that.
No, it's. You think
and
I actually
go. All right. Next song, Lust.
Lust.
I'm not saying I get a pass for it at all. I just thought it was a funny aside.
Which one was Lust again? I forget. This
Lust is like my favorite one on the entire
Lust
album.
is calm. I wrote that has a calm start, less rapping, more singing. Talks about pleasureful/lustful things. Strings in the second half, nice touch. Election talk. Overlaid lust leading to overwhelming feeling near end.
Oh, was this the one where Kendrick is just like,
Let put the head.
Yeah, the head in line. I remember.
They're all my notes.
It's my it might be my favorite song aside from another one that we'll talk about in a second. But oh man, there's something so like sleepy and like just nightly about it, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Very calm. Like I said, calm start.
Oh baby.
That one. That's the one where he like specifically talks about the election and Obama leaving office.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was an interesting point.
Because even once again going back to that interview, he was saying that like Obama was like basically like one of his friends and whatnot. And he was like,
they hang out.
No, they did once. He was basically, I guess, talking about like when Obama first came in office, when he was just like a young adult, and reflecting on now when he's out. I guess he was saying that like change doesn't happen like immediately or even in like the next year, but yet he's like trying to prepare for like the next decade. And so that's just kind of like, I don't know, what he took away from Obama. And
Kendrick's relationship with Obama is really interesting too, because he's friendly with him, although he's still critical and understanding of like his entire position in the White House, because I mean, obviously the first black president, that's like a huge deal. Mm-hmm. But in To Pimp a Butterfly, he legit labels him a Democrip and says that no matter what, you're still against us in the end when things go wrong. Like, you're still a part of that process, but at the same time you have the entire house against you, so you still have something of a handicap. So it's like he has this really strange relationship with him, in that like he likes him, but he knew that he wasn't reaching all of that potential.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Well, it seems like in general he has like kind of an anti-authority.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for the most part. Yeah.
Yeah.
As most rap does.
I think he needs to change that line from ADHD, where he's just like, "Yep, our president, he's black."
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
ADHD. That was the first Kendrick Lamar song I'd ever heard.
I think that was his biggest hit at the time.
That was one of his, that and High Power or something like that. It was around Section 80.
Right.
That's all.
All right. So moving forward.
Love.
Whoa.
Love. I like the instrumental. That's it.
I like all of it.
I don't like any of the rest of it. They could turn off the mics. I don't like the singing. I really don't like the singing in that one.
You don't
it irritates me.
You don't like Zachary or Zakari?
What? Nope. I don't like the whole back and forth of him like da 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 love da 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 love da 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 love.
I get why some people.
I wanna be with
you and your stuff. I get why some people are going to be turned off by this really.
The instrumentals, I like how it was orchestral kind of in the back.
I
like that, you know.
You keep going, sorry.
I just like, basically I'm saying if it was just the score, the what do you call that when they take the lyrics out of it?
Instrumental.
Yeah, if I could just get the instrumental of it, I'd like that.
See, I have a very differing opinion, in that I hate the instrumental and I actually like the singing.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Well, meet me in the parking lot.
Yeah. Okay. Let's throw down, son.
I feel like Keemstar.
My issue with it is that oh God, this is like the biggest artistic compromise. And I agree that the lyrics are like, oh, please stop. And even like the back and forth, please stop. I still, at the end of the day, I like it, but I think that it kind of sells his sound up the river a bit.
You know,
I can see that. It sounds a lot different from all the other.
It doesn't have like, not to say that he needs any, but like it doesn't have any curse words at all. It's like about love, which is super popular. It just sounds like a pop hit, and like they engineered it to be a pop. So that's my biggest problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a song that I'm kind of like, I mean, I'll listen to it. It's just I am still not the biggest fan.
It definitely seems like the most polarizing out of all the songs.
Yeah, for sure.
There's another one that I would say.
Well, one of the most, if not the most. So
yeah,
definitely up there, and like the few that are the most polarized.
Yeah. So do you guys want to move on to the track that this was probably the most controversial one when the track listing came out?
And I know why, but at the same time I kind of don't.
So it's
because they put music on our iPhones without our permission, and I can't.
They raped our phones.
Exactly. It's Triple X featuring U2, also known as that one band you couldn't get off your iPhone for a while.
Right.
The band your dad and mom like.
So
it's funny. I actually have like not like a hatred for them, but at least like a dislike for them because
I don't
my
really
dad.
like them either.
No.
So
your dad hates them.
Yeah.
Why does your dad hate them? I'm curious.
He just didn't care for any of them. He loves Bono and he loves all the work that he does, but
he doesn't like the humanitarian stuff.
Yeah, like all of that. He's like, oh yeah,
100%.
Bono seems like a hell of a dude.
I'm a big fan of Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark.
Turn off the dark. But yeah, no, I think. How do you guys? There is a voice crack for you. How do you guys even pronounce this one?
Triple X or sometimes.
Okay. I was
XXX.
Yeah. This is
like
probably
a snake.
Like a snake. This is probably tied for my favorite.
I like this one a lot. It's one of the I starred ones that I liked, and this is one that I starred.
Yeah. This one for me came out of nowhere because I was talking to a couple of different people while listening to this to the first time, and I was talking to Jobert. He was on the show, and he already listened to it, and I was like, "How's XXX?" And he's like, "Oh, this is a banger," and I'm like, "What?" And then I listened to it, and then I just hear, "Blah, blah."
Right. It was so surprising to hear from Kendrick what almost sounded like a Death Grips kind of influence.
I like that at the beginning of the song. I like the beginning of the song, how at the beginning it starts with he's kind of like this like calm and cool and confident vibe, and then it moves into like this whole darker, like, you know, it's got the record scratching samples in it. It's very like punchy. The drums are very like like very punchy and like sharp, and it gets really hard in the middle, and then it backs off kind of in the second half, and it's more.
Then we go to Miami vibes.
Yeah, no kidding. I loved U2's feature on this.
Right,
it was good.
Right.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. And
perfectly fit.
Yeah, it worked well. It was. He knows what he did. He knew how to fit it in where it wasn't just like an odd feature. It was the song naturally, and it worked really well.
And it's like, if you look at the song structurally, it doesn't seem like it would make sense, but with the lyrics and the pacing of the song, it's inexplicable how well it works.
Right.
I'd like to bring something up with this song because this is one of the more like political, if not the most political of all the songs. Do you think the title, am I like this crazy conspiracy theory, or do you think the three X's stand for USA?
I could see that. Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't know, like it's redacted or something.
That's a really interesting point that I had not
thought of that and I wrote it down. I don't know how, you know.
That's really cool.
Reasonable that is.
Case.
Yeah. I was thinking.
I like the part in it where he goes.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking the Triple X, going back to the whole 14 stations theory. This is the one, like, this would be the part where, like, Jesus is nailed to the cross. So I heard, like, the three X's are supposed to represent the three nails. But yet also the USA one is like.
Has anyone else? Have you seen that anywhere else? Am I the first?
No, I've never heard that. Yeah, and I think that totally makes sense given the content of the song.
Should I post that on r/Kendrick Lamar and then get destroyed? Berated by mean people?
Right now they aren't even like angry at anyone. They're just like, oh my god, it all connects. Yeah, upvote him.
Yeah, I think everyone there is taking their L in pride.
All right. I like the part in this song where he says like, "All right, kids, let's talk about gun control." That was great. Especially that's immediately after like the like hard, crazy like rap stuff.
And then
again, just the craziest sample for that too.
Yeah,
it was a Death Grips level sample.
Yeah, and I guess kind of relating to the whole USA like type of thing. the main thing that Bono says is like America is a sound of drum and bass.
Mhm.
Like just in general describing America as a sound. It was kind of interesting for me. And then going back to some of the like religious themes, like Kendrick immediately goes into like Hail Mary, Hail Jesus and Joseph, the American flag is dragged and wrapped in explosives. uh, which is such cool like imagery of like the way that he's describing this. So yeah, I could literally see USA being the triple X's now.
That also kind of factors into, I think is it at the end of Fear where he gets the phone call from his cousin?
Yes.
Because he says that they're the true Israelites, and Israel being like
the voicemail is actually, it starts Fear and then it also closes out Fear, which I really like. I like Fear all around. That's the next one.
Fear's a great one.
That's that one start as well. It's a good
one. I was curious if because the mention of Israel, which is pretty well known as like, the promised land, or at least that area in the Middle East is known as that. And I'm wondering if Kendrick is seeing the USA as his version of the promised land that's being tainted by another. So I don't know. That's just something I thought of just kind of now.
Can I ask something as a a casual? This is my first time.
Yeah.
Has his cousin been like a really big aspect of the albums in the past? Because there's like multiple mentions of his cousin on this album, as if you're already supposed to like know who he is. Like he even has a song named after him, right? Like his cousin is Duckworth. That's his cousin, right?
That's his dad.
No, it's his dad.
Oh, I thought that was his cousin.
Nope. We'll cross that road.
I'm a confused boy.
I'm gonna check Good Kid, Mad City, because I think the first track,
because it's his cousin in one of the vans. I thought.
Yeah, Shireen is
Shireen. No, Shireen's the girl. That's the girlfriend.
Oh yeah. Whoops.
I'm just a dumb confused boy. I don't know.
Is it Keisha from
a Keisha song?
Yeah, or is that someone different?
I mean, it's not the same person.
But his cousin's the one who leaves the voicemail, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And do both of you know what the cover for Good Kid, Mad City is?
It's like a old band, right?
Yeah, that's one of them, because there's two covers. There's the van, which is the one that I listened to the album on, but the other one is Kendrick as a baby being held by his two cousins and his oh wait, no, it's his uncles. Never mind, my theory doesn't work. Disregard that.
Yeah, the Good Kid, Mad City cover, the first one, is really crazy. Of just like,
it's really cool.
A lot of stuff captured in one image.
I really did like Fear with like the voicemail aspect. That I thought that was really neat.
If you like that kind of sound, listen to Good Kid, Mad City in full.
I definitely am. I feel like after this, you guys have me with the whole talking about it being narrative. That definitely interests me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that, and I like how as it goes on, it's just building and building of all this like insecurity and fear that he has. And like you said, that song's definitely like probably one of the most personal and like self-reflective and inner struggle songs.
I think
it's really neat.
Yeah, I think I also want to point out, and I think this is what the beginning of the spiral that was the second album theory was, that the album leaked mere hours before its initial release, and people noted that Fear on the leaked was 7 minutes, but yet Fear in the official version is 7 minutes and 40 seconds. So the leaked version took out those skits that you found.
Really?
Yeah, so which eventually went to Soundwave, one of his producers, saying, "What if I told you that's not the official version?" And he corrected himself later, saying that like that was for the unofficial version, yet he never mentioned a second album, which more people, they should have clarified on that, but more people just took that into a spiral, and
that's spiral. like his left stroke or his right stroke,
baby,
makes people.
Hey, that was
poop.
another evident for the theory god.
It was because he has two hands, two strokes. Conspiracy. He's gonna move to Cuba.
Oh, I forgot something on XXX that I want to mention real quick.
Oh, XXX. What if the title is reference to the Vin Diesel movie?
Oh,
the Triple X. A new one just came out this year. It's all coming together.
And no one saw it. But going back to that interview, apparently XXX was supposed to have 4 like verses or 6. Like it was supposed to be extremely long, which is why it sounds so different. Going from the banger and into the chill track. Like apparently there were supposed to be like 3 more in between or 4 more. God.
Well, that would have made it like a kind of pyramids, but for Kendrick Lamar. Interesting.
Yeah.
Have either of you listened to that song by Frank Ocean?
Which one?
Pyramids.
Is that on Blonde?
No, that's Channel Orange. My point being is that it's the crux of the album, and it's like 10 minutes long, where everything else is like 3 or 5 minutes. So, yeah.
I guess going back to Fear, it's it's the longest track, coming in at 7:40 seconds. So
it's long.
Yeah, and also, have you guys seen the needle drop review for Damn?
I was about to mention that at some point. Yeah,
I have, but I don't really. I remember some of the stuff from it, but not too well. I watched it.
Yeah, so Fear was the biggest track he had a complaint about lyrically and message-wise, because the way that he took it is that he's describing blacks and Hispanics as like Israelites, and that all of the tragic events happen not because of political reasons, but because of God.
I mean, I think that's what his cousin is saying, who leaves the voicemail, and I think Kendrick is considering that. But is that actually is that confirmed? Is that like his ideology? Is that what he actually believes, or is he just like posing the question? Because to me it more felt like he was exploring the idea rather than being this is how it is.
Exactly.
Because that's what Glasses Boy Music Boy says. He was like he was upset because he was like, this is what he believes and I don't agree with it, which is okay, but still I don't agree with it, and it's an important part of the album, so I just have a fundamental problem. But to me it was less of Kendrick saying this is what I believe, because the whole album is just about insecurity and being unsure. So
exactly. Yeah.
And I guess
that go ahead. Sorry.
I guess also to point out, going back to like the Damn Man theory, through the track list, like Triple X is like the second one, and then we go to Ya, where it's mentioned again, his phone call, and then Blood, which is where Kendrick dies. So I don't know, just an interesting thought to put in your brain, kind of like that, kind of like what he did.
Yeah, it's strange. I still don't know what to make of the two track lists.
Yeah,
thing.
It's definitely a weird one.
It's a strange one for sure. But yeah, to Fantano's point, and I love the dude, and I generally do look to him for like at least a different angle on music.
I like watching his video. Yeah, I like hearing his opinion and watching his videos, but oftentimes I find myself disagreeing with him a lot. Like he seems way too like, his standards are way too
extremely high.
I mean, he's essentially like YMS, but for music.
Yeah, he's so like YMS,
the same type of thing
for sure.
Should we go back to his controversial score for
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy? Yep.
Wait, what?
Kanye West album, for those that aren't aware. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was considered like a return to form.
Isn't that like the one everybody loves?
Oh yeah, I even like it a great deal, and he gave it a 6 when it came out, and people have been haunting him with it ever since.
I know he gave the this album a 7, and people were surprised.
Yeah, and which I think is still a very decent score.
I'm still upset because he doesn't like. He was really harsh against the new Justice album, and I've gotten so fed up with people talking about Daft Punk and Justice like they're not allowed to have an evolved sound, and everyone's just upset that Daft Punk isn't remaking Discovery, and everyone's upset that Justice isn't remaking Cross.
Right.
To a degree, I agree with a lot of aspects of his opinion, in that it does kind of falter for me a bit on the later half, and I have to like kind of rewind tracks to remind myself that I'm listening to a new track. But it is overall a very solid album, and that's why I've continued to listen to it. So I agree with you there, is that I do find myself disagreeing with him a lot, especially on the Stam review.
He's obviously still like he makes good points, and I enjoy listening to him.
Yeah,
I still do. You can enjoy someone and listen to their opinion, but disagree with them
for sure. Mm-hmm. And that's why I was getting real annoyed, is that it seemed like a massive oversight for him to be like, this is what he believes, like matter of fact, not taking into consideration that so much of the album beforehand had been like him second guessing himself.
Yeah, right. No, I agree with you on that. Yeah, he did falter a little bit there in his analysis, but nothing too bad.
Yeah. Well, then again, people were pestering him like since the day it was released, like, you need to review Damn. Yeah. But I don't think I just flat out don't think he gave it enough time. Like, we're still sitting here. Yeah, we're still sitting here a week later. I've listened to it 4 times all the way through, and I still don't entirely know what to make of it.
Right.
I think, honestly, if you wanted the best review, he needs like a month of just listening to it casually, listening to it multiple times.
But by that point, it wouldn't have the same. It wouldn't have the same.
It wouldn't draw the views. So
yeah.
Right. And
that's the problem.
Even then, he puts out a lot of stuff. Like,
for sure.
Oh, he puts out
daily.
Some of the probably like the most content with like the most substance on the web. Like, it's easier for him because it's not really highly edited. It's not, it's just pretty much straightforward. Him just saying his opinion with cuts when he needs it. But still, like, talking about just substance of analysis and substance about someone talking, intelligently about something they enjoy and something they like, talking about. He's definitely like one of, if not the most like prolific uploaders, like, because every day almost.
Yeah, it's like a couple videos a day sometimes.
Yeah,
and then he does like the best and the worst tracks of the week, so you got that too, where
I do love those, and I generally agree with those.
Where just like, could you imagine doing like, best TV episodes of the week?
Oh God.
Exactly. Like, okay, they're a little bit longer than songs, but still some of the same idea applies. It's just, God.
And plus, he has to listen. I mean, he's listening to good stuff, but at the same time, he's listening to stuff like Designer.
Or just like, just you listen to so much of stuff that some things become bland. So maybe something like Justice to him sounds more bland, whereas to us, it sounds more exciting.
Well, should we get back to talking about the tracks? Because I don't want us to get too far off about.
It's fine. I think it's
needle drops
to talk about
analysis podcast.
I do love the guy.
I like the meme reviews.
The meme reviews are great.
Oh God.
Okay, but I guess moving on to probably my least favorite song on the whole album.
Yeah, mine too.
I don't particularly like it. I mean, it's definitely not one of the ones that I dislike, but it's one of the ones that falls in just like the meh category.
See, here's the thing. Like, I said I was kind of like okay on the song Love, but even that, like, Zachary's voice, I don't know, I enjoy it more, but yet just God, I'm just kind of like, oh God.
My biggest problem with it is that as soon as I'm done with listening to it, I forget how it goes.
This what God feel like?
Like even that, it doesn't even give me a picture of what it is. And from what I remember of looking through the lyrics, I just didn't find anything there other than like him kind of just being more reverent. That was pretty much it.
But it's what God feels like.
No, that was described in lust.
So, I guess I don't know. Just moving on because God is really
sure. Let's keep going.
Probably the craziest story. Yeah, the most interesting track.
So wait, let me say something real quick. You said for me, I should probably listen to Good Kid, Mad City. Is it a lot like this one where it's like a story? A lot. Because I like that. I like how it was like a little story, a little story time.
Yeah, it's a lot like.
Can one of you like explain to me what the things about the story is? Because that's a problem. I have that at the end. I still with rap. I miss so much. Like stuff flies. Like if I really wanted to understand everything, I'd have to go and just read the lyrics because my brain functions too slow because I can't follow stuff in rap. I was telling a story and I was engaged, but I was like, who is this about? Why are they robbing a KFC?
There's a lot of outside context for this one. Number one being that he's signed to Top Dog Entertainment, which is like one of the bigger rap labels right now, just because of who they've have signed on. Like obviously Kendrick Lamar and Absol, J-Rock, Schoolboy Q too, I think. Those are all like huge names just for who they are.
Yeah, I've heard of some.
Yeah. Who they're talking about, the robber in the scenario is actually Anthony Top Dog Tiffith, who owns Top Dog Entertainment. And this story is told from Kendrick's childhood, while his father was working at a KFC, and Top Dog let his dad live, and just I could be missing a part of it, but just kind of left.
Wait, is this fictional or did this really happen?
This is real.
This is real.
Wait, his dad was held up by the guy the label that he works for?
Yes.
Yeah.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. He also mentioned this in the interview as well. But basically he said that like the moment that they found out was like when Kendrick first got signed on there, like his dad wanted to come to the studio and they just looked at each other. And they just were standing there shook.
Wait, they saw each other?
Yeah, because his dad wanted to visit the studio.
I didn't know this at all.
I didn't know that part.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
What?
This is why Duckworth
conspiracy theories. This makes the song so much better.
It does.
And I already liked it. I already had it starred. I'm gonna give it another star now. 2 stars.
2 thumbs up. 2 equals 2 albums.
Yeah, and in the end, if I have it right, Kenny Duckworth, who's his dad, gives him some free chicken and lets him go about his merry way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's reflecting in the end, like, what if things went wrong? What if things went different?
What if he shot the gun?
Yeah, he would have never been in this scenario to begin with.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
thank you for enlightening me. That helps.
No problem.
Yeah.
I went my whole life never realizing that crazy story happened or never knowing about that.
Right. And
like, so where did you get the context? Like, just because you know the artist and you know about him and you know, like.
Yeah. I mean, I knew about Top Dog before the record.
Okay.
But and if you listen to other albums that he's made, he talks about his family quite frequently.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Apparently, Top Dog, like, he recorded this song without Top Dog knowing, and
I didn't know that part.
He showed it when Top Dog listened to it for the first time. I guess he was like really pissed off.
Ooh.
I can see why. I mean, it's a song about him committing a crime.
Yeah.
Right.
And not like a glamorous one either. Not like,
no.
I'm Rick Ross and I'm selling drugs. Got a gun. Da 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 da.
You're mimicking it, but that is almost the exact layout of a Rick Ross song.
But yeah,
although you are missing the pivotal. Oh,
Someone's gonna shoot me.
right, and so
I'm insulting.
No, you're getting it quite spot on.
right, so yeah, this is just kind of like a song of just what if, like just the small things in life. Like, what if Kendrick's dad wasn't as kind to them? What if he died? Would have Kendrick been, where he is today? He said in the song, something about a coincidence.
His dad was nice and it got him saved at the beginning, and Blood, Kendrick is nice and it gets him killed.
Yep.
By the old,
and literally the album ends with the first
and then it rhymes.
Lyrics. So I was taking a walk the other day.
So much neat things in this album.
That's why Kendrick's
people like him.
That's why Kendrick's at least an 8.
It's a good meme.
Yeah, as people have been, I've seen responses on Twitter to Fantano's antics.
To Big Glasses Boy.
Yeah. But yeah, Kendrick has like a lot of crazy stories. It's just, I think of like real stuff that has happened. I think this might be the craziest one, because he's definitely made some very story-based songs before, but yet they are just fictional stories, like How Much a Dollar Really Cost.
That entire album is pretty fictional for the most part.
Right. Yeah, I still really love the story to How Much a Dollar Costs.
It's real good.
I'll have to look into that.
But yeah,
I don't
that's on To Pimp a Butterfly.
All right.
But you should definitely listen to Good Kid, Mad City for this.
Like Duckworth just changes the entire dynamic of Good Kid, Mad City and just makes it better. I'm not gonna spoil a thing for you, but it does change how that album plays out in the end. Oh man, that's really cool. I guess I didn't ever think of it like that.
Right. But yeah, there's Damn for you. So, I think overall, this album is really just scattered. And I think that's on purpose because Kendrick's in conflict with himself.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of this album is like internal conflict and Kendrick worrying about like religious themes and whether he deserves stuff and unsureness.
I'm gonna bet
unsure of his success.
Anything that this thing is gonna be like examined over and over again for at least a while, and it's probably going to be considered like one of his best in a couple years, but now.
And I think even though I was a little disappointed in the cover art at first because
pretty simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
But that's the point.
Yeah.
Right. I also
it's just him. He's like open to the like because he's very insecure in this album. It's like just him.
Yeah. And it's also I also thought it was like a nice nod to a lot of like his influences or like their album art styles, like especially Tupac's.
Right.
Yeah. On Twitter, actually, there is an English teacher that a lot of people have at my school, and he's Dr. Kendrick. His last name is Kendrick.
Oh yeah.
So if you saw on my Twitter, I made an album cover because I found a picture of him online where he's standing against a brick wall. So I made an album cover with him. It has 82 favorites and 24 retweets.
Holy
so many people at my school have seen it. He himself retweeted it on his like public personal Twitter account, and he said he put it on his Facebook page. He said said if he had the money, he'd hire me as his publicist.
That's really cool.
God. Yeah, that's really funny.
I made it in 5 minutes at lunch on my phone with a photo editor.
I'll put it up.
Yeah, that's really funny.
I think in terms of just like the sounds that you hear on this one, it's out of all of his albums, this one's the most scattered one for sure.
Yeah, it's also like the themes are heavy, but the sound of it is a lot lighter too.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever I think of, this has happened so often. Peyton, go ahead.
You sure? You sounded like you were more on like finishing a thought.
Sure. Okay, I'll go. Like whenever I think of like Kendrick going like hard as possible, I think of stuff like You and Blacker the Berry, where the instrumental and the tone of his voice and how he delivers his lines are just like so intense and so like self-flagellating to a degree, and like even hateful to a degree.
Oh yeah.
And this doesn't have any of that. Instead of hating himself and like coming to terms with himself, it's just confusion without a direct answer. And I think that's kind of the allure of the album for me, is that I don't necessarily know. A lot more interpretive than I think his previous albums have been.
I don't think,
as someone who's never listened,
I don't think anyone knows exactly too much how to feel about this, and I think that's kind of the point.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who's listened to none of his other albums, except for part of Tip of a Butterfly halfway through ish, sort of, I liked how this one was more like straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It was more easy to listen to and enjoyable just to kind of just listen to straight through, straightforward, not having to like analyze it. I liked some of the songs a lot. Some of them I just kind of didn't care for, but they were still okay. But the ones I really liked, they're good. I enjoyed them. They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to hear all the ones I have starred?
I'd love to.
Star? Yeah. Let's go through our favorite and least favorite tracks.
All right, these are my special star picks. Blood, DNA, Humble, Triple X has a star, Fear, and then Duckworth has 2 stars. And then, as I said before, I didn't really like Love, and I didn't really like Feel, Loyalty, Pride. Those are all kind of just meh.
Yeah,
really, I didn't dislike them, but they didn't really work for me.
They work to support the album, but they're just really not your thing.
They're kind of, they were more filler for me.
Yeah. Go on.
What, me?
That's it.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think I get that. Yeah. For me, I think Blood is really good in setting up the album, but I'm not going to listen to it like individually. Yeah, it's a great song and I do love it. DNA is probably it's like a 3-way tie for like my favorite. I think
the beat change in DNA is
legendary.
Fantastic. I underlined it and put an exclamation point.
Give me some ganja. Yeah. DNA, Element, Humble, Lust for sure. Triple X, Fear, and Duckworth are probably my big ones. The one that I hated the most was easily God. Maybe there's some sense in that.
Magnus hates God.
Yeah. Maybe there's some sense in that.
Yeah. For me, favorite tracks definitely DNA, Humble, Duckworth, also I would say Fear. I would say a track I'm kind of indifferent towards is Love, and the only track that I really didn't like was God. So
yeah,
everything
Love is
else
the one that I'm most conflicted on.
Mm-hmm. We seem to share a lot of the similar favorites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think most people probably do with this album.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
they're the big focal point ones on the album.
Yeah. So
sure.
so Magnus, where would you put this in his discography? I need a drink of water.
Let's see here.
I need some water.
Well,
That was a good one.
That's really good. That's really good. I'd say, dang it, now I'm thrown off.
Good.
I'd say that it's just ahead of Section 80, but not reaching Good Kid, Mad City or To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly being my favorite, with Good Kid, Mad City just following it.
Right. I would put those in the same position as well. I feel like if just to let Damn, just because those other albums have been out for years, this one's out for a week. But yeah, that's currently my order as well. Actually, I think I don't know if I would put Untitled Unmastered better than Section 80.
I don't know. That one's really good too.
Yeah.
I didn't even think I love that album, but I never think of it as a whole album. I do think of it as like B-sides.
Yeah, they're just leftovers from To Pimp a
Good
Butterfly.
B-sides though.
Yes. Very good. I guess just one last thing I want to mention. Magnus,
hey, you didn't ask me what I'd rate it.
Oh yeah. Payne, where would you put this in his
Where would you put it?
I'd put it at number 1 because I'm a herd anyway. I'd give it 8 Daft Punk discoveries out of 10. In Daft Punk's discography.
All right, Pro Jared.
Let's see if Human After All is the least good and Discovery's the best good, I'd put it right between Homework and Ram.
Where would you
right in the middle?
Where would you put the Tron soundtrack?
Oh well, I didn't know if I was counting that. I'd put that. I don't know. It's really good, but I don't know. Cool. It's different from the studio albums because it's just a soundtrack.
Yeah.
And then Alive 2007's like the best.
Yeah, for sure. Same here.
So that's what I'd give Kendrick Lamar's Damn. Hey, how much do you guys want to bet there's a really cheesy, just awful shirt already someone's made and selling on Redbubble that's just the cover, but it's like a beaver?
I have to find out now.
Oh god.
There totally is, and it's probably just the worst. And I want to buy one and wear it, ironically.
Yeah. I guess just going back to the internet reacting to no album, probably the best thing that came out of this was that some kid ate his vinyl of Good Kid, Mad City because there was no second album.
Wait, some kid said he would?
No, said he did.
There's a video.
Like he ate a vinyl record?
He ate a vinyl record. He chopped it up into a smoothie and
is he gonna die?
It.
Oh, okay. So he like thoroughly blended it?
Not
still.
Well,
is he gonna die?
I don't know about thoroughly. We might want to be a little bit more strict with our adjectives.
Is he gonna die?
No, he's gonna be fine. Vinyl.
Blood's gonna come out for sure.
Yeah, vinyl isn't poisonous, but it's still
sharp.
It's sharp and it's yeah.
It's gonna get internal bleeding.
Yeah, okay. The funny thing about that video was that he like started blending it before he put in the ice cream, and it just came out like muddy water. And then he put the ice cream in. He specifically did like chocolate chip ice cream, so I don't know. His brain would trick like the chocolate chunks with the vinyl chunks. But yeah, every single time he like ate like a thing of vinyl, he was just like, "Ow, my teeth hurt."
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that was a good decision.
Once again, rap music leading to the death of young children, being a bad influence. He's gonna die. Kendrick has blood on his hands. This young boy is dead because he didn't release his second album.
Yeah.
How many intestines do you have? Two albums.
Oh yeah. Hold on, wait. I actually have a list pulled up of all the crazy stuff that people said that there was going to be a second album. Should I just read down the list?
Wait, any news on the beaver shirt?
On the beaver shirt, I'm not finding it.
Any news on the deer in the Get Out trailer? Reference.
None so far. Good callback.
Good callback.
Yeah, I guess. God, this is a big list. Okay, so
I'm sorry. I found a shirt that someone did in the style of the damn album cover, but it's from Twin Peaks and it's Agent Cooper and it says "Damn good coffee."
That's good.
Really
That's good.
Oh my god. Yeah, there was a bunch of parody covers. Like I saw one where that was like Homer Simpson. It was just called Doe.
Yeah.
or just like one called one called Darn, and it was Kendrick wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh, I saw the one that I saw. It said "Darn." It was in Comic Sans, and his face had been warped in, so the rest of his forehead was giant, and his face was small.
Oh my god.
I'll have to find that and send it to you.
All right, good. Let me quickly go down this list of why everyone thought there was going to be a second album. Yeah. So Soundwave, his producer said, "What if I told you that's not the official version? I was talking about the leaked version, followed by a picture of Morpheus from The Matrix. Don't know what that was about. In the reflection of his sunglasses, it shows that he's holding a pill red and blue. Kendrick changed his Spotify picture to a blue brick wall. The Heart Part 4 says, one classic came right back. My next album's gonna put the industry on an ice pack. You'll see the flames in my EYEs. He just dropped Jam. Damn, he's gonna be back with another classic. TOC, The Other Color. The first song, Damn, is Blood. And then the first song on the second one would be called Crips with the blue. Kendrick dies in Damn. Damn was released on Good Friday, the same day Jesus did. And 3 days later, Easter Sunday. Kendrick Oh, man. Sorry, let me just finish this up.
Keep going. Just finish it.
The M on Damn is supposed to look like the horns on his head representing the devil, a reference to the Donald Trump Time cover. The Nation would have the O be above his head. The first time it says wicked or weakness. It also says you decide if we live or we gonna die. And the acronym on the track list on the back of the CD can spell out death to the leader. So there you go.
I'd like to also say I listened to The Heart Part 4, and I really like that. I kind of wish it was on the album, because that would have been a favorite, because I like that one a lot. I like the part in that one where he's like crumpling up paper and like
that's really
like he's having the conflict with whether like what he's like. It's like his writing process is in the song.
Right, and Kendrick does that a lot through like Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly, where it's like all these extra sounds to give you a big picture.
Yeah, I like that.
Like the chugging of alcohol in You.
Oh yeah, like
that's like disturbing.
Yeah, in the song You, it's like if this bottle could talk, like if he was, I don't know, sad and drinking, and then you just hear like the ice cubes from him like drinking it, and you just hear like and then he stays on rhythm while he's rapping. It is
intense.
Yeah, that's why To Pimp a Butterfly.
Loving You is complicated.
Oh, there's a lot. The man has the hooks.
He does.
So, yeah. Is there anything else that you guys want to say on probably the longest podcast yet?
I don't know. No. I'm still kind of new to rap, and I still like it's not. I don't think I'll ever be like super big into it, but I think I might slowly start listening to more. But I'm still a little electronic boy. I like electronic music. I like funk music. I like classic rock. I like comedy albums.
I think Kendrick might be a good gateway into it.
Yeah.
Probably not Death Grips.
Hey, that's that one I was going to bring up earlier, but didn't.
They came.
Remember when I? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say like Kendrick and Childish Gambino seem to be the two good for like getting into rap if you're a white boy from the suburbs in the middle class.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
For me, it was interesting because it was Mad Villain, aka MF Doom.
I was legit just about to say those same words. Keep going.
I know him because he's on Gorilla. He's on Demon Days.
Yes.
That's why both of our names are banned. But yeah, just it sounds completely different from any kind of rap album, because up until that point I thought rap was just like trap,
Yeah.
and talking about drugs, money, women, blah. But yeah, MF Doom is completely not that, where his bars and his rhyme schemes, the thing that he works with, are just so, they're just so fun and clever. Like every single time that he does like a good rhyme, I'm just like laughing of how amazing it is. Like there was a song
Got more
called
soul than a sock with a hole.
yeah, stuff like that. Specifically the song All Caps was the one that like
It's great.
drew me in. He's doing some of the same stuff that Kendrick is doing, with like the whole imagery stuff. It's just, it's kind of to like the instrumentals to like almost 70s Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah. It's he was one of the first big people to bring me into hip hop in general, because Madvillain is something else, and I'm glad that Madvillain is not a thing anymore. I heard rumors of a second album. I don't know if they're true. I kind of hope that they aren't, because I just kind of want to preserve the sanctity of that first album. But man, it is good, because that one, to me, it's like it's changing the form to a degree. And it was like the same year that College Dropout came out, which is Kanye West's first like big album, and it's really good, like even thematically, and it has like a really strong narrative. It's just it's really, really good. Then like it took all the way to like the 2010s, like recent 2010s, for it to start changing for me again. Like The Money Store from Death Grips was like one of the first big ones. Then Clipping's self-titled album, To Pimp a Butterfly, and recently Atrocity Exhibition. But
boy,
yeah, just listed off a bunch of really good hip hop. Go listen, kids.
Yeah, it's specifically Danny Brown.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know how to react to Atrocity Exhibition at first, but the song Ain't It Funny just drew me in so much, just because it was something I have never heard before. And they used a Pink Floyd, well, not a Pink Floyd,
well,
the drummer
Nick Mason,
from Pink Floyd, a sample on that.
Wow. We'll shoot it to you, Peyton. I feel bad for leaving me out. It's fantastic.
It's okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna shoot over MF Doom, Ain't It Funny, and then the guy eating the vinyl.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. We're coming up on 2 hours now, so I think we should hold on.
Okay.
After we end, I gotta
it up.
Oh, good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
So
we're talking about rap music.
Thank you, boys, for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I can't think of another rhyme.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me be the guy who doesn't know nothing and who can give his opinions.
I think you being a part of this conversation has been entirely pivotal to having a fresh perspective on the sound.
Yes.
So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
So
and, it's always a pleasure being on this.
Bye, everyone. I love you.
Bye.
Bye.